My peoples, my peoples, welcome to another episode, a special edition episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know we talking boxing, man. Y'all didn't think I was gonna leave you hang out to dry this Saturday, right? Like, I'm not getting boxing today from Jay Smith. We cooked. No, you're not cooked. We gonna cook. That's gonna happen this Saturday morning. My peoples, first of all, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. God gave us another day. Whether it's a beautiful day or a nasty, rainy day, wherever you are, we alive. We awake. Let's get it, my peoples. We got some great boxing tonight. Toy Mafia, Boxing Junkie, Side, my people, salute. Y'all already know what it is, man. Underrated Will in the building. Check it, my peoples. Vergil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin is going down tonight, y'all. Tonight. And guess what? I'm telling you, it's going to be more competitive than what a lot of people are saying. Plus, I think a good indicator that it is going to be a competitive fight is the fact that you have people saying Luben is going to win. You have people saying Vergil's going to win. That tells you it's going to be competitive. That tells you. And by the way, did you see the face-off? That last face-off? Bro, Luben is actually a little bit bigger than Vergil. He looked a little bit bigger. So it's like I told you before, when you're a big guy like Vergil Ortiz is, you're normally fighting smaller guys than yourself. Even when he fought Madrimov, he looked like the bigger guy. And Madrimov is not a small dude, obviously. So you see that Erickson Lubin is a big dude, and he can fight. Being on the big stage, it's gonna be an interesting showdown. Now, something to consider, and we had this conversation yesterday. Jerron Bruce Ennis and Eddie Hearn, they're gonna be in attendance. My expectations are that we're gonna see a call out. And remember what Oscar De La Hoya said. Stay home, Eddie and Boots, because if you see Vergil in person, you might get scared and you might not want that smoke. Watch it on TV. And Eddie Hearn responded by reposting that story and saying, I'll see you in Dallas. Boxing Junkie, I'll be live tonight on IG showing the fight. Live streaming it, baby. Underrated Will. Chat. No self-promotion. Check this out. Check this out. I'm expecting, this is my expectations, that they're going to allow Boots to climb the ring for this call out. So it's not going to be one of those that you're just going to see Boots hanging out and that's it, and then the fight is over and he leaves. It's not going to be that. This is my prediction. I don't know. They haven't said that they're going to do anything like that. My expectations are that this fight is so big. This fight is so big that they're going to allow Boots to climb the ring to kick off the promotion right away. Underrated Will. Lubin versus Boots is going to be good. So you got Lubin tonight. You got Lubin going the distance or by stoppage. Let me know. Age is 17. What's the deal, my G? Bam. Let me know. If you saying underrated Will that Lubin is going to win this fight, how is he going to win it? How is he going to beat, a younger, stronger Vergil Ortiz? How is Lubin going to do that? Put me on. You know something I don't know? Because honestly, I think Lubin is nice. I think Lubin can fight. Like I said before, he's been on the big stage. And I know that he's going to present problems. I know that he's going to present some problems. Boxing Junkie Ortiz looked drained to me. You know what? That could be a problem if they get to the late rounds. If he is, right? If he is. You never know. But if he is, they make it to the 9th, the 10th, the 11th. That could be a problem. Underrated Will. Luben is good at knockdowns, and Vergil hit the canvas before. Also Luben, but has a better chin. I say Luben, who can take the consistent punch. Oh, wait a minute, bro, because you have to remember, Erickson Lubin got two losses, and they both by stoppages. So it's unfair for you to say that when Vergil ain't never been stopped. And he been dropped and came back and handled business. So getting dropped, it can happen. But as far as who got the better chin, you know, Lubin been stopped twice. So you have to take that into consideration. And look, I just don't see let me put it to you like this. If it goes the distance, and be honest with me, Underrated Will, be honest with me here. If it goes the distance, what do you think it takes for Lubin to get a decision over Vergil Ortiz in Dallas? Holla at me, my boy. My boy. Holla at me. What do you think it takes for Lubin to win on the cards in Dallas? Holla at me. Boxing Junkie. Ortiz better make it quick. Or like you said, it could be a problem. I mean, if making weight was an issue, if he struggled, it could be problematic in the 10th and going forward. Agent 17, Jay Smith, you like the little Canelo snippet added to the edit. Which one? I'm lost, my brother. Christian Garcia, his only loss is to unified champs. Is Vergil on that level? You see, you made a great point. Right there, you made a great point. Because, and I mentioned that yesterday, by the way. Yesterday, I said, look, Erickson Lubin, he ain't just out there losing to anybody. He lost to Fondora and to... Who else was it that he lost to? I can't remember right now. But he lost to two reigning champions at the time. So, come on now. I know what he brings to the table. And that's why I said that this can even be Vergil Ortiz's toughest fight to date. And he could face adversity. And it could even go down to the champion. Yeah, Charlo, there you have it. It could even go down to the championship rounds. And Vergil have to pull it out from over there. It could turn into that. Juan Ocasio, salute, my brother. Bam! Ramirez, bam! But I believe that this is going to be a tough, competitive fight. And I expect Vergil to take over. I expect Vergil to, eventually wear on Luben. Those, the consistent body shots, the constant pressure. I think we're going to see Vergil Ortiz. And Boots and Eddie Hearn going to be in attendance. This kid is going to try to show out. I promise you that. He not just going to try to win. Vergil Ortiz is out there to make a statement tonight, y'all. You could take that to the bank to get some pounds. Juan Ocasio, let's go. Fight night. Good card. Good card. And by the way, my peoples, I will be calling it live. Y'all know how I do it. Y'all know how I do it. Tejan, why doesn't Vergil get the criticism Boost does? He's never even won a title. Honestly, I think that you're not remembering how Vergil was treated at 147. The main narrative about him was that he never beat nobody. So he's gotten that criticism. What happened is, you have to remember, for a while, Vergil was inactive. And Boost hasn't been inactive. He's been at it. That's why I say Eddie Hearn done a great job with keeping him active, getting him fights, and his name has just kept getting bigger. Remember, there was a point where this kid almost killed himself trying to make weight twice. Twice, bro. And those was two fights that fell through, and they had to be hospitalized, inactive, rehab, and all that shit. And then finally he came back to 154. But before all of that debacle that we knew that he was struggling like that, like life type struggling, like life ending type struggle, then that's when people kind of eased up. Like, oh shit, damn, this guy really couldn't make that weight. The real reason why we never got Boots versus Vergil at 147 is because there's no way he was gonna be able to make 147. Think about it. He almost died literally, bro, trying to make that weight for his last couple of fights there. Tried to make weight, got hospitalized. Then tried to make it again, boom, got hospitalized again. So I think a lot of people started actually feeling empathy, like, oh shit, this real. He really going through it like that. So I think Boots got criticism because we expect him to be, the guy, one of the best, and he chose to have a tune-up as opposed to fighting Vergil right away. Now, you gotta understand, my guy, me personally, I was like, I'm good with it. I'm okay with it. Why? Because Boots is moving up to 154. 1-2, what are we talking about? That's not an issue. That's never been an issue. But Boots is such a talented fighter that people give him shit for it. And still the narrative on Boots is that he ain't fight nobody, he ain't beat nobody. But take this into consideration, my brother. Terence Crawford is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. This guy's already the face of boxing. And there's still people who tell you that he ain't beat nobody. He ain't beat nobody. So that narrative is always gonna follow the best fighters. They saying it about Crawford. They saying it about Shakur. They'll say it about Boots. They'll say it about all the best fighters. That's how it always is. And then when they beat names, they always try to knock the name down somehow. Oh no, but that guy wasn't the same, and this guy wasn't the same. Look at how many world champions Terence Crawford beat, and none of them was the same somehow. Think about, let that shit sizzle in your spirit, my boy. How you be that many champions and none of them the same? So that's always going to be the narrative. When you're great like that and people just can't accept it, what is the go-to strategy? To diminish your opponents. No matter how many titles they won, no matter how much they accomplished, now when you beat them, when Terence Crawford beat you, you become a nobody all of a sudden. You was a top-notch fighter, elite level champion, accomplished fighter. Bud beat you, you're a nobody. Because Crawford ain't beat nobody, so now we got to make your career a nobody career. Amir Khan, Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Errol Spence, Canelo Alvarez. What a bunch of nobodies. Golly, bro. Underrated. Will, hit the like button, my peoples. I'm saying I'm out here cooking for you. I know I'm out here cooking for you. All you got to do is double tap. Pop, pop. Ramirez. They'll say it about Tank, which is crazy. Well, no, when they say it about Tank, it's true, though. Tank beat a lot of good fighters. He ain't beat or fight none of the best. So about Tank is true. That's definitely, they ain't lying about that. Eye for eye. They said it about Mayweather. Don't forget, they didn't think he could beat Benavidez's brother neither. Listen, about Floyd Mayweather, I have a very good memory of Floyd's entire career because I watched it. I've been following Floyd since he was crying in the Olympics. When they robbed him for the gold and he was crying out there, since then I've been following Floyd till the last fight with Conor McGregor. And I can tell you that for the entirety of Floyd's career, he had haters. And they just kept growing and growing and growing. And I still remember when this guy won his first title versus Genaro Hernandez, a Mexican. The legend started of Floyd taking out Mexican champions. So that created a narrative because he fought in divisions where he always ended up matched up with a guy, a Mexican champion who was very much respected and loved in Mexico. And now comes Floyd, beat him, and oftentimes make him look easy. He became a villain. Floyd's career played out in the perfect way for him to be the perfect villain. They just everything fell into. I mean, he made the right decisions. He was very smart business wise, but that's it. Floyd Mayweather carved out his career and became the greatest of all time. And if you don't think he's the greatest of all time, then he has to be in the conversation. There is no such thing as a conversation of the greatest fighters of all time where Floyd Mayweather is not in it. And if somebody has a list of greatest fighters ever and Floyd Mayweather's not in it, that's because they don't know shit about boxing. They're goofball. That's the only explanation. Ramirez. That's funny. Same thing with Tank. Pedraza. Okay, Pedraza, a guy who kind of became a stepping stone to a lot of fighters who beat him up. Ryan Garcia still never won a title. Pitbull never won a title before facing Tank. Mario Barrios had only won a secondary title. Frank Martin had never fought for a title. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ramirez. You can't compare. I'm sorry. The accomplishments are not there. But nice try, I guess. I'll give you kudos for that. Agent 17, Jay Smith. The snippet from the Crawford-Canelo fight. I put in the edit. I sent to you. I gotta see it again, my brother. I gotta see it again because, trust me, I received a lot. I've been receiving a lot of videos, and I do my best to see all of them. So to be honest, I'm not sure which one. I have to see it again. Juan Ocasio. Nobody thought Benavidez was going to beat Bud. No, listen, no, Juan Ocasio. There's people who were saying that Crawford was going to take his first L, that this kid is real tough, that he's undefeated, that Crawford's not going to handle the pressure, the power. Trust me, there's people who, if you look at the odds and the bets and all that stuff, if you look into that, a lot of people was putting money on Benavidez to win that fight. Felt like he could win it. Nah, bro, he fought Bud with one leg. Oh, my goodness. That's just funny. Eye for eye. Yeah, bro, they didn't think Crawford was going to beat Benavidez. They felt like Crawford was a nobody. I'm telling you. At that time, there was still people saying that Crawford was a hype job. Nah, this kid is a hype job. He ain't fight nobody. He ain't done nothing. Watch him get beat up. Like, come on, my peoples. You have to understand that hate narrative on Terence Crawford has been there for a very, very long time. People not wanting to accept that the guy is him. That's been the narrative, y'all. People want to see. Look, you know why Crawford is such a big superstar? Because people want him to lose so badly that every time he wins, they have to build an explanation around that win. They have to explain why he was able to get that win. The problem is that the box rec records wins and losses, my peoples. The history books records titles won. It doesn't record your opinion about how, well, the reason why he did it really is because of this. And what people don't understand is that if you use that logic that you use on Crawford, you can literally break down almost every champion's career by using that same logic. Like, I'll give you an example. The people who say that Kell Brook was washed when he fought Crawford, right? You think Kell Brook was washed? Look at the greatest fighters that you could think of, and then look at the age of their opponents when they beat those guys and compare that age to Kell Brook's. And you're going to then say that everybody these champions beat was washed too? So there's a different bar that is set for Terence Crawford because he's that great. Greatness. Just do boxing. Bam. What's good, my G? Salute, my brother. We got fights tonight, man. Vergil, Ortiz, Erickson, Luben. By the way, Just Do Boxing. I'm not sure if I got your prediction on that. You may have said it on your show. Who you got tonight? Do you got Luben pulling off the upset? Or Vergil's gonna handle business? Juan Ocasio. Brooke wasn't washed. He just fought. Tough dudes. I know, but that's just another explanation. There you have it. So when we go to every champion, every accomplished fighter that Terence Crawford beat, there's a backstory to it. So if I tell you Juan Ocasio, the backstory, the same way that you're doing it, if we do that with Tank Davis, he got a B-level resume. A C-level resume, if we go by that standard. Come on now. Ramirez. But it's the truth. We're not going to argue that. But the hate for Tank has to stop. Y'all keep repeating shit to just move the goalposts. Because y'all hate Tank. Why? Because y'all favorite fighters can't make a name for themselves. Shakur got a D-level resume. You see, that's because you don't understand boxing, my guy. You just don't understand it. I don't fault you because that's ignorance. So I can't fault you for that. I can't fault you. Shakur, you really think a guy with a D-level resume gets on the pound-for-pound list? And you're a good dude. I'm not going to cook you. I'll let you slide with that. A guy on the pound-for-pound list got a D resume. You exposing yourself, my G. I don't even got to cook you. You cook it yourself. You make it onto the pound-for-pound list with a D-level resume. I'll let you cook yourself. Boxing junkie. I smell goofballery, Ramirez. I mean, I don't have to do it. He cooking himself. I don't even have to do it. I'm going to just put the pound right there, dive in and have first, my G. But Vergil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin will be a super competitive fight. I believe Vergil starts to break him down. Those body shots start to add up. And whether it's a stoppage or it goes the distance, I got Vergil winning this fight. That's how I see it. Juan Ocasio. Smith letting him off the hook. I don't believe it. Now, Ramirez a good dude. Ramirez talk boxing. He got his point of view, but he talk boxing. It's just that point of view is crazy right there. My man said Shakur got a D-level resume. Ramirez. But you say he came back. I love Vergil, but he lost that fight. I mean, if you think he lost that fight, that's your opinion. I had him winning it. I thought it was a tough fight, competitive fight. Here's the deal. Let me show you what happens in fights like that one, Ramirez. And I want you to consider this. Did you watch Vergil Lomachenko versus Devin Haney? In that fight, the first time I watched it, I felt like Lomachenko won. I posted, Lomachenko beat him. Oh, Lomachenko beat him. They robbed Lomachenko. I was mad as hell. But the next day, every time it's a big championship fight like that, I always watch it in the morning again, right? Which is why I got a strike trying to stream that with y'all. I'm watching the fight again, Devin Haney versus Vergil Lomachenko. Now, I'm more calm. I'm sitting down early in the morning. I'm not talking to the fans, nothing. It's just me and my TV. Papa watching the fight. And now, what I'm noticing, God Devin is catching him with those serious counter shots. Hard as hell to the body. Oh, shit. Now I'm noticing something that in the midst of all the excitement, I didn't really catch the day before. Devin Haney was timing Lomachenko. And there's a lot of hard shots to the body that he was like, boom, like hard to the body that in the midst of all the action, you may not have caught them. And maybe because of the angle, you see Lomachenko lunging in with all these punches and you're not catching him. Bang! That solid one Devin is just stabbing him with. And he did it a lot throughout the fight. So now when I watch the fight again, it's close, but I got Devin Haney winning it. I got him winning the fight. And then I realized, y'all know I'm an analyst. I realized that the first time I watched it, I had Lomachenko winning it because I never seen somebody put so many hands on Devin. So automatically I'm like, nah, he got him. He got him. Fuck out of here. That's why. But then when I rewatch it and I see the work that Devin was putting in, I like, huh. Yeah, the young bull got it. He got that. He got it. He won the fight. So when you watch Vergil versus Borchel, you get the same effect. You get this guy putting so many hands on Vergil that you're not used to seeing that. We're not used to seeing that. Whenever a guy comes and they put hands on the guy, people always say they beat him. He beat him. He beat him. But when you really watch the fight, man, Vergil got him. He got him. He edged him out. Especially at the end. He got him. Watch the fight again, Juan Ocasio. I'm telling you, this happens all the time. When we see a guy come out of nowhere and put hands like he's not supposed to, we want to give it to him. But then you watch it again and you're like, damn, wait a minute. Shit. They really put hands on him too. Eye for eye. Nobody paid attention in the first 3 rounds. Devin Haney inside game was sick. Bro. Devin Haney had that right uppercut that was laser sharp, that kept landing right there, my people, right there. He would do like this slight little step back as Lomachenko was coming in, and just would time him perfect. Boom! And dig it in. I'm gonna tell you something. Lomachenko showed the type of conditioning, you guys know the abs and all of that, he's in shape. But Lomachenko took some crazy hard punches to the body that landed flush. And he never flinched. Never slowed down. Never took a knee. There was never a sign in that entire fight where you felt like, oh shit, Lomachenko's getting tired. Oh no, he's slowing down. This guy applied pressure for 12 rounds. That's why it felt like, damn, he won that fight. He won it. And I'm going to tell you, there were some swing rounds that I gave him to Dev because of those body shots that I'm telling you about. Bang! That when I watched it the first time, I gave it to Loma. And then when I watch it again, I'm like, damn, hold on. Bang, bang, he's doing it consistent. So I think because of the swing rounds, this fight could have gone either way. But ultimately, I feel like Devin won. I feel like he won the fight. Ramirez, bro, you can't compare that, my brother. And look at the previous comments. Vergil is a dog. But he been got hands put on even by Mean Machine. And Vehicle came back and beat him. I'm saying Mean Machine can fight. Mean Machine can fight. And he beat him up anyway. He stopped him. Brutally. Brutally. Mean Machine is a guy who put hands on a lot of people before getting stopped. Or before getting beat. Boxing Junkie. Haney beat Loma. That jab was a problem for Loma. Early rounds, close fight, Loma lost. And them body shots. It was a good fight, man. It was a good fight, but we have to admit it. Devin Haney won that fight. And look, check this out, Boxing Junkie. Look how much Devin and his pops believe in themselves. You see how his stock dropped after he had that fight with Ryan Garcia. Okay, it's a no contest, but you can't take that away, that pummeling session away from our memory. We all saw what happened, right? So that made Devin Haney's stock stumble. You see that after that, his pops never made the comment that they the face of boxing or anything like that. But They took one fight where the former champion, Jose Ramirez, made it look easy, and now they're going after Brian Norman Jr., the guy in the welterweight division. Because don't get it twisted. Let's not even debate about that. Brian Norman Jr. is the guy at the welterweight division. It's his show. It's his shit. And that's who Devin Haney decided he wanted to fight. So what's going to happen if Devin Haney does win? Where is that going to position him? Pound for pound list. I'm telling you right now, if Devin Haney's able to beat Brian Norman Jr., he's headed for the pound for pound list right away. And now Devin Haney's stock is going to go. And he's back in the conversation again. Now he's back in the conversation as one of the guys that's going to be fighting for that face of boxing spot. One of those guys that's going to be trying to climb up the pound for pound list to get to number one. He's going to be in that conversation once again with a win like this. But a win like this for Brian Norman Jr. is also going to skyrocket him. He's going to the pound for pound list. Watch. Somebody, whoever's number 10 is out of it. If Brian Norman Jr. beats Devin Haney, whoever's number 10 is out the pound for pound list. Welcome home, Brian Norman Jr. Telling you that right now. Let that sizzle in your spirit. West does it. Devin goes way up if he beats Norman. If he beats Norman, he's up there. I think if he beats Norman, he's right away top 6. Maybe top 5. Maybe top 5, because you got to understand, it's not just that he beat Norman. The accomplishments that he brings to the table are put in there too. I don't know if he goes right away, they just say, fuck it, put him in the top 5. But he's in right away. Whichever one of them wins that fight is on the pound for pound list the next morning. Jay Smith is telling you, my peoples. Ramirez. Brian is going to beat the dog shit out of Devin Haney. Remember I said it here first. Damn. You think it's a stoppage and all that? Wes Dustin, good morning, Jay Smith in chat. Hit that like button. Damn, my peoples. 15 likes is diabolical, yo. Golly. What's going on out here? Ramirez. Brian is for sure levels above Devin, y'all. Just watch. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one. On that one, I got to disagree with you. No way Brian Norman Jr. is levels above Devin Haney. Now, styles make fights, right? They're both special fighters. Brian Norman Jr. is at that elite level, but so is Devin Haney. And they both bring their own thing to the table. Like, Brian Norman Jr. is obviously going to be the harder puncher in there. But Devin Haney is going to be the guy who has the better footwork. Devin Haney is going to be the guy who's going to have the edge and experience. Devin Haney is the guy who's been in the bigger stage, who's shared the ring with bigger names. So that's something that you may not take into consideration. This is going to be Brian Norman Jr.'s biggest stage that he's ever been on. It's not going to be Devin Haney's biggest stage, because this fight is not going to be bigger than Devin versus Ryan. I mean, title-wise, it is, but I'm telling you, it's not a bigger fight as far as viewership, as far as a stage. Let's see how it plays out. Can Devin Haney win this fight? And I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. I said I was going to make a prediction right after the win. Bro, I wasn't able to make a prediction. I wasn't able to make it. Because I was like, let me see if one of them is going to look weight drained. If one of them is going to look weak. But I don't know, man. I don't know. They look good to me. They look strong. They look ready to perform at the highest level. Ramirez, will Brian Norman Senior has shown me through videos and sparrings all about having no feet and IQ is bullcrap. And the people just live to follow narratives. Whoa, 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 wait a minute. Because Brian Norman Jr., and I said this before, is a guy who has elite level footwork and movement and athleticism. But I don't, saying Ramirez, saying that Devin Haney has better footwork doesn't suggest that he's not, that Brian Norman Jr. doesn't. You're just saying that Devin has better footwork. That's it. But Brian Norman Jr. is a guy which I said before is going to make this fight a very competitive one because just like Lomachenko, he has the footwork and the athleticism to stay in front of Devin Haney for 12 rounds. So it's going to turn into that type of matchup of is Devin Haney going to be able to win those exchanges on the inside and get out before getting caught with that shot that could change everything. You see Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach, it could play out something like that. Where you saw Lamont Roach outbox Tank Davis, win the exchanges on the inside and stay away from that big shot that was going to hurt him and stop him. And trust me, my peoples, I've watched that fight 4 or 5 times already. Maybe more. And Tank tried to land that shot. That counter shot equalizer that he stopped a lot of people with, he tried it with Lamont Roach. He just couldn't do it. So you have to see what type of game plan Devin Haney's going to bring to the table because he will have to trade with Lamont Roach. He's going to have to. He's going to have no choice. So I'm never going to knock, I said Lamont Roach. I'm never going to knock Brian Norman Jr.'s footwork. Disrespected like that. Come on, my guy. The guy has elite level footwork. But everybody who has elite level footwork is not on the same pace. JJ's in the house. Hit the like button, everyone. Salute, my brother. Bam. Ramirez. And shout out to Lamont Roach. Because look at what he's doing. Challenging himself. Lamont Roach, in my opinion, he already showed that he's a special fighter. Based on the way that he was able to fight Tank Davis, I already know what's good with him. Juan Ocasio, are Tio Shakur done deal? Or they still bullshitting? I mean, they still haven't agreed. They still haven't signed the contracts, as per what I seen Teofimo say. But they're going back and forth. They're in negotiations. And the plan is that they are going to fight in early 2026. So we're going to get that for sure. My peoples, let me give you guys the scoop, man. Let me tell you guys something interesting. You guys know that Box Center 2.0 is going to go live once I have 50 subscribers, right? Something that you need to know. I'm going to have a nightly show, and on that nightly show, there's going to be a hotline, y'all. There's going to be a hotline, my people. So you actually, while I'm live, you're going to be able to call in, and whether it's give your opinion, trash talking is allowed, my people. So rather than just chatting on Box Center 2.0, you're going to be able to call in. Like, I want to say this, and that. So when we talking about these two fighters, you could call in and give your opinion about Shakur, your opinion about Tio, and your prediction. And if you need to trash talking is allowed. So get ready, my people. That show is going to be straight heat. But I got to get to 50 subscribers, y'all. Subscribe to Box Center 2.0. We about to go ham over there. People's going to be getting cooked. Come on, y'all. Juan Ocasio. Bro got the hotline. I'm trying to tell you, there's going to be a hotline, yo. People's going to call in, and it's going to be crazy. So subscribe to Box Center 2.0 because the show goes live the day we hit 50 subscribers. Well, it's going to be the day after. So we hit 50 subscribers today. The following day, we going live, my people. Age of 17, subscribe to Box Center 2.0. Bam, no doubt, man. No doubt. Ray, Shakur beats Boots in 3 years. To be honest, I don't think we'll ever see Shakur Stevenson versus Jerome Boots Ennis. I don't think we'll ever see that. And I'll tell you why. Right now, Boots is already at 154. Shakur is probably going to make his debut at 140. Right? We're talking about 147 and 154. Two divisions apart, right? So Boots is already going to be on his second fight at 154, while Shakur is making his debut at 140. They're both fighters who are looking to carve a legacy for themselves. So guess what? Boots is going to be at 154 for some time, trying to collect titles. But Shakur is going to be at 140, the same deal for quite some time to collect titles, right? Then, both of them, around the same, probably the same year, Shakur moves to 147. Boots is already moving to 160. And we follow that same process again. They both try to accomplish in their respective divisions. By the time Shakur moved to 147, you're going to see a Boots that's going to be in 160 or in 168. And I think Shakur caps off his career at 147. So I don't think we'll ever see Jerome Boots Ennis and Shakur Stevenson in the same division. I don't think it'll ever happen. Maybe Shakur goes to 154, like to make a big fight. But I think like Floyd did, for example. But I think his career plays out at 147. I don't think he has, like he becomes a 154 pounder who campaigns there. Eye for eye. I think Lopez make a mistake boxing Shakur. Listen, man, to be honest, everybody is making a mistake boxing Shakur. That's why they don't want to fight him, family. Right there. JJ's in there. Let's go, Jay Smith. Super Cookout coming up. Box Center 2.0. I'm trying to tell you, my peoples, a hotline for you to call. Whether it's trash talk, make a prediction, share your opinion. It's going to be crazy. I already did a little test, and it got crazy. I already did a little test, my peoples. I just didn't put it public so you guys don't see it because it was a test, right? But I did a little test, and within the first 30 seconds, we was already like, you don't know shit about boxing. You don't know shit either. He's gonna get beat up. It didn't take long before it got fiery, y'all. So y'all don't even understand what this hotline's really gonna be about. Eye for eye. By the time we see Boots and Shakur, it will be the equivalent of old Mayweather versus old Pac-Man. Nah, we just ain't never gonna see it. We ain't never gonna see it. They're always gonna be too far apart in divisions. And because of that, I believe that we'll never see it. JJ's in the house. Going to have live. Get the F out of here. No, but this the thing, JJ's in the house. This is the thing, though, right? If you got a minute to go off, I can't stop you from going off. Unless you break certain rules, If you start, saying things that we should not be saying because it's out of context, then that's different. But if you trash talking, if you calling people bums and all, I can't cut you off. I gotta let you do you. Your whole minute, the stage is gonna be yours. I could argue with you, but I can't stop you. Adam, the first dummy to join the live. Look at Adam Broomy, my people, the first dummy of this morning. The first goofball to get blocked. Adam, welcome to the party, you goofball. There we go, my peoples. 47 minutes into the show. The first dummy gets blocked. I'm gonna change it for you right now. Y'all know how we do, my peoples. It's been a slow morning. Boxing junkie. I think Boots will move up to 160 in 3 years. I mean, I feel like we're gonna see Boots eventually at 160 and maybe even at 168. And I don't think Shakur will go near that. JJ's in that. Nice, Jay Smith. Y'all know how we do it, man. Nice and early. Nice and early. Boxing junkie. I'm just driving, laughing my ass off. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, this a boxing show. I don't know how we end up laughing so much. We talking boxing. We talking a dangerous, brutal sport over here. Okay, we talking important matters for some goofball to show up, sending us off course like that. Look, I'm gonna say this. Eye for eye, Sakura going to do what Crawford advised. Shakur's going to do what Crawford advised. Look, Shakur's career, in a way, is playing out like Terence Crawford. Because I'm going to remind you that Terence Crawford had a tough time getting the opponents, getting the names when he was in the welterweight division. None of them, they froze him out of it. Now he's the guy everybody want to fight. Everybody, Jermell Charlo is like, it would be an honor to fight him. Remember, we was like, you need to worry about Arrow, man. Just the big boys over here. Now he like, it would be an honor to share the ring with you, champ. So, Shakur Stevenson is on that same boat where people don't want to fight him because they know they won't get that L. But eventually, he's going to represent such a big check and such a big stage that you're going to see people like, I want Shakur. Oh, Shakur, fight me. You're going to see the same thing. And it also happened with Floyd. A lot of people didn't want to fight him. Became the face of boxing. Floyd, we want you. Everybody want Floyd now. JJ's in the house. Jay Smith, get him the F out of here. Send him to your new channel, Boxing for Goofballs. Eric Gomes. Now you're saying he won't go 154 for Boots, but he said he will for Ben. Make it make sense. Like I said, he will do like a one-off kind of thing for one guy, but he's not going to campaign in that division. Now, you're saying that you want him to go up for Boots. I don't know. I don't know if he will go up or not, but I can't predict that. Eye for eye. Shakur is going to do what Crawford advised. Oh, shit. Hold on. My bad. Almost sent somebody for a break by mistake. Juan Ocasio, Smith leading the league in blocks. I'm telling you, they call me Dikembe Mutombo out here. Boxing junkie, Ben fights at 147, not 154. I mean, I don't know. You know how it is when people want to create a fake narrative. They put fighters in whatever weight class they want to put them in and all that. Go figure. JJ's in the house because Shakur is the boogeyman. Just like Crawford was the boogeyman. Now everybody want him. Nobody wants Shakur problems because they know that comes with an L on your record. Boxing junkie. He only moving up to fight Chris, and he will be moving back down to 147. Zell. Eric. Shakur said 147. You see what I'm saying? But Eric got to add a different weight class to try to put Boots in the mix and do all this other new narrative that he likes. Come on, man. Eric Gomes, I want Shakur versus Bud or Bud versus Bivol. So essentially, you want somebody who's not at 160. You can forget about it. You're going to disappoint yourself. You need to want Crawford with people who are at 160, where you're going to accomplish a new accomplishment and surpass Floyd Mayweather in divisions where he won titles in. He never said he's going to 170. This is what I don't understand, Eric Gomes. If you told me, you yourself, you said it many times, that Crawford was too small at 168, why would you want him to fight at 175? Why do you hate Crawford that much that you need him to fight the bigger guy? Why do you want him to lose so badly? And did your hate start at the same time that he beat Errol Spence in a pummeling fashion, or did you hate him before that? I need to understand it. Why do you hate the guy so bad? Look, you want Crawford to fight these people, but how come you never tell me who you want Tank to fight? When you talk about Tank, you tell me, well, you know, Tank, he's getting the bag and we would all do the same thing too. Why do you celebrate Tank fighting Jake Paul for money, but then you want Crawford to fight Bivol and Boats? I don't understand that. I'm trying to figure it out, but I just don't. Jay Smith has the Guinness World Record for blocking golf balls. Oh, I got the #1 spot. I definitely got it. Eye for eye. Charlo better stay away from Crawford. What Canelo did to him was bad, but with Crawford, Charlo will quit for good. Another therapy for life. Yo, Crawford, you know the type of beatings that he put on people, man. And he don't like Charlo. You remember when he pummeled Errol, he went to the ropes and was like, you next, you. So he don't like Charlo, and Charlo know that. And he that's the one thing I like about the Charlos. They about that smoke. He's not gonna shy away from Crawford. You know, he's out there saying, yo, it would be an honor. I know he'd fight him if he could get that fight. But he getting beat up. He getting beat up. Eric Gomes, Tank don't need to fight anybody right now. Yeah, but you never wanted him to fight anybody, ever. That's the thing, Eric Gomes. You talking about he don't need to fight anybody. How you was just celebrating him for getting the bag with Jake Paul? He's getting the bag. We would all do the same thing too. But then when it comes to Terence Crawford, fight Boots, fight people. That's crazy. How is it that your favorite fighters, you celebrating an exhibition, but this guy, you want him to fight the best. You want everybody else to fight the best. Tank don't need to fight nobody. Now he don't need to fight nobody. One day he could fight whoever he wants. The next day when I ask you that, you're like, nah, but he put butts in seats and that's what really counts. Y'all gotta come better than that, bro. Pause. No Diddy. Boxing junkie. Boots want that fight. He has to move up to 160, win the title. You want the face of boxing? You do what you have to do to get the face of boxing, just like Bud did with Canelo. Ah. You see, now you talking the real language. And I want to tell you something else, too. We know that Crawford offered the fight to Boots, and they turned it down with BOK Prime. Some people are on denial. They'll make up excuses, but that's just a fact. But let's skip over that. Moving up to 154, Boots was offered the fight with Vergil Ortiz. He declined it and picked a tune-up instead. So if Boots is picking a tune-up at 154 instead of Vergil Ortiz, you really believe that he's trying to fight Crawford? You buy that for real? He asking for tune-ups. Terence Crawford moving up to 168 to beat the face of boxing. Boots moving up to 154 for a tune-up. But you believe he's ready for Terence Crawford. Man, listen. You just don't understand boxing. That's all that is. You don't understand boxing. Terence Crawford put the beats on Boots too. You just don't understand how things work. My man's over there asking for tune-ups at 154. While Crawford putting the beats on the face of boxing. You don't know what you're talking about. You're overexcited about Boots. That's all that is. If Crawford was to beat him, you would say that he caught him too young. And you will find a way to diminish that win as well, like you do with every one of them. Come on now. Come on, my people. Age of 17, Tank Davis' biggest opponent yet, the jury. Oh, you're wrong for that. You cold. Eric goes, nobody he needs to focus on his mental health. Yeah, Eric Gomes, but he's 30 years old. He didn't have to fight nobody his whole career. The last 5 years, he couldn't fight Shakur. He couldn't fight Devin. He couldn't fight Tio. All these years. That's crazy. That's crazy. Eye for eye. Tank needs to sign the bag with Turk. MS. Salute, Big J Stradamus, my brother in the building. What's the deal, my G? Brasco greeting from the main streets of North Omaha, Nebraska, where the face of boxing was born and bred. What's the deal, my G? Bam. Agent 17, Tank the one with the cold heart. No comment. Big Jew, Tank just want money. I mean, that's the best cop out ever. It's the best cop out ever. Because now you could duck everybody by saying, oh no, he just want money. You know what's the problem with that fake narrative, Big Jew? That if he just want money, fighting the biggest names will give him the most money. Fighting the biggest names will give him the most money. So it's a fake narrative because people say, oh no, he's trying to get money, he's trying to get money. Well, he will get more money fighting Teofimo, Devin, and Shakur that he's getting with Frank Martin, Pitbull Cruz, and somebody else outside of Ryan Garcia. So it's not just about Tank want get that money. He want to get that money and protect that. Oh, that's the part that people skip. They protecting that swiftly. Agent 4. No eye for eye. Boots don't need to fight Crawford. Let Boots grow. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. They keep trying to make it seem like Terence Crawford is ducking him. And you watching Boots asking for a tune-up at 154. If you don't understand what that means, I don't know what to tell you. Wano Cacho, and he fought Roach, although he knew was dangerous because he knew that's cap. That's cap. You capping, Juan, because Lamar Roach is a 130-pounder moving up. Everybody expected Roach to get knocked out. You're talking about what Tank Davis knew? Look at the betting odds. Roach was the heavy underdog. Tank was the favorite, and most people predicted that Tank was going to knock him out. Lamar Roach is the perfect example of a cherry pick gone wrong. You brought the little guy from the lower division and he beat your ass. Call it how it really was, my boy. He didn't pick a dangerous guy. He brought another small dude from another division like Androide Garcia, who he knocked out. Androide Garcia was a champion at 130. Tank Davis knocked him out at 135, making his debut. Lamar Roach was making his debut at 135. Oh, yeah, he's going to come up and get knocked out. Bait Tank Davis up. Stop the cap. Big Jew, he's scared of looking bad. Everybody's scared of letting that go. Who has a better resume, Floyd or Bud? Look, it's hard to answer that question, and you know why? Because it simply depends on what accomplishment you value more. So if you value 50-0 more, you're going to have Floyd. But if you value undisputed more, you're going to say Bud, because Bud undisputed in 3 divisions. Floyd never went for undisputed. So it just depends, I think, what you value more. But right now, I would say in the all-time great list, you got to put Floyd Mayweather above Terence Crawford. However, that can change. In my opinion, that changes if Crawford wins a title at 160. He's now going to be a 6-division champion. Floyd was a 5-division champion. So he'll surpass Floyd in that accomplishment. If he becomes undisputed in a 4th division by accomplishing that at 160, then I am going to at least consider putting Crawford, not just ahead of Floyd, as the number 1 fighter of all time. If he does that, that's a big if. We got to see it. Braska Rock, a fool and his money will soon depart. Whoa. Hold on. Braska Rug, I need you to slow down because I'm the chef over here. You don't need to be cooking like that. There's no need, it's not necessary for you to be cooking and adding seasoning and stirring it that way this early in the morning, Brasker Rob. Chefing like that. But you talking facts. You talking 100% facts. But then you ain't have to cook it like that. Why you gotta do it like that, bro? Juan Ocasio, just because we don't know him like that. MS, agree. It's apples and oranges when comparing Bud versus Floyd. That's what I'm saying. They have different types of accomplishments. So it depends what you value more. But to me, if he surpasses Floyd in divisions where he won titles and and then he makes it to 4 times undisputed, which it seems like it's unreachable, while also retiring undefeated like Floyd, then I'm gonna have to consider putting him as the #1 fighter all time. Ever. So that will put him ahead of Floyd. Corey B, you can only beat who they put in front of you. That's facts. You're beating the people from your era. That's who you're beating. And that's how you create your legacy. You don't create your legacy against who somebody else beat. Big Jew, Crawford gonna be undisputed 4 times. Let's see it. He might. It's gonna be Lara and Johnny Beck. Between them two is 3 titles. Johnny Beck got 2, Lara got 1. They're gonna fight next. So, and Crawford already said he got his eye on Johnny Beck, right? So if Crawford beats Johnny Beck, he'll have 3 titles right there. And who's left? Carlos Adames, who has the WBC title. The most important one, the green belt. The green belt. So if Crawford is really gonna chase that undisputed crown at the 160 division, Carlos Adames is gonna be in the way of that happening. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Looking forward to seeing that. Eric Gomes, Floyd has the better resume. But Eric Gomes, you have to understand that as a Terence Crawford hater, your opinion is non-reliable. We can't rely on your opinion. Everything you ever say about Crawford 100% of the time is always going to be negative. Your opinion is pretty much shit when it comes to Crawford. Non-reliable. Eye for eye. Tank Davis and Lamont Roach fight turned out the way it did because them boys have been fighting each other since they were kids. That's cap. That's cap. And I'm going to tell you why. When you say they've been fighting each other since they was kids, bro, they had 2 fights as amateurs and that's it. That's it. Been fighting each other makes it seem like like for example, Devin and Ryan, they faced each other, I think it was 4 times. You could say, oh shit, they saw each other a lot of times, so Ryan knew him. Bro, Tank and Lamont Roach saw each other twice in the amateurs. Early in the amateurs when they was kids. They never had the relationship that people try to play out. Close the door and put the lock. Close the door and put the lock. Tank Davis and Lamont Roach never had the relationship that people try to portray. Oh no, it's that they was good friends and they hanging out sparring all the time and all this shit. That was cap. They saw each other twice as amateurs early on, and in the pros they never saw each other. They never trained with each other. They from the same place, so they saw each other around. Sometimes they was even in the same gym and say, hey, what's up? But Lamont Roach debunked that whole shit about how they cool and they've been around each other. Like he said, nah, we cordial. Sometimes we're seeing each other in different places because we from the same place. And we be, whoa, what's up, what's up? But we never hung out. We never sat down to chill. None of that. So the narrative that, oh, they know each other, that's why. That's cap. That's 100% cap. Lamont Roach was simply the better boxer that night. But rather than admit that he was the better boxer, it's a lot easier to bring up these narratives. Oh, no, they know each other. And what had happened was, and Tank Davis greasing his eyes, and his mind was not right. All of that, it's a lot easier to just admit that Lamont Roach was the better boxer that night. It takes too much energy to create fake narrative. It takes a lot of energy, bro. Corey B, what happens if Haney suffers a bad loss? His stock will stumble. His stocks will go stumbling down. He needs to win to get back up to that status where he's being looked at as one of the guys. He needs that. If he losing a competitive fight, is no big deal. Devin Haney's still in the mix. But if he lose badly, it's gonna be a problem. He's gonna have to climb himself up and show that he can. Because you're not gonna want to put him in another tough fight back to back after getting beat up like that. So let's see. Let's see how it plays out. Clifton Eddie, howdy, brother. Do you think the Tank versus Paul fight was ever really going to happen, or was it publicity? Oh no, that fight for Jake Paul, that fight was really gonna happen. That fight was gonna happen. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Tank was gonna get the biggest payday of his career, and to be honest, to what you're saying, that's actually beyond comical, and I'm gonna tell you why. You know how many people were in a training camp in preparation for that card? In total, my brother, it was over 100 people in preparation. We're talking about the different fighters and their training camps. We're talking about the MVP TV crew, the film crew. We're talking about the Netflix crew. You think all of these people were going to be put in place just for a publicity stunt? Nah, bro. There was, of course, like, that's comical to even think about that. There's always going to be people floating fake narratives in boxing. That's just part of it for whatever reason. But that's even comical to think that all these people, all these fighters that were training, that were away from their family, were doing it so that Jake Paul could do a publicity stunt. You could put that in a comedy movie. Like, that's just comedy. Bruce Guys, boxing, jazz, and more. What's up, bro? What's the deal, my G? Bam, we talking boxing. We talking boxing. You know what we doing. Tonight, we're going to get Vergil Ortiz versus Brian Norman Jr. It's going to be lit. Gonna be lit, my peoples. Braska Rug, hey, yo, grease. More like fists in his eye. I'm telling you, he was getting punched in. 37 Breezy, what's your thoughts on Scooter Davis? He fighting on the card tonight. I like him. He can fight. I'm going to enjoy that fight. By the way, everybody tuning in, I am going to be calling these fights tonight live. Y'all already know how I do it. You know you're going to be hearing devastating blow for Vergil Ortiz right in the kisser. Luben catches him to the melon. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, David Ortiz with a shot to the wake piece. You know you're going to get that type of smoke tonight. Clifton Eddie, what do you think would have happened if they fought? Yes, I think you're right. I'm way off. Cheers, mate. So, honestly, I believe if they fought, if it was not scripted, right? If it is for real, Tank Davis going to whoop his ass. The size difference, the height difference wasn't going to matter. Look, this is the size difference, right? Jake Paul is almost like a foot taller than Tank. So let's say that's the size difference. But the skills difference is this. So the skills difference was going to be too much. Tank was going to bait him up, make him look like a goofball. Braska Rock, what time? My notification be bugging. Honestly, I'm not sure myself because I have to check in. But once I see what's my local time that card is going to start and everything, I'm going to send out a notification. But my people, just check on my channel because I'm under a strike right now. I'm actually Shadowban. That's why you see that the live rarely goes above 30, 40, maybe 50. But you don't see it going to 100, 150. You don't see that because I'm Shadowban right now. So you might not get notifications. Tune in tonight. If you see that the card started, check in. Your boy Jay Smith is going to be calling them fights. Eye for eye. Even so, they still knew each other's styles in both sides of the camp. Said they had history with each other. Yeah, but I told you, my guy, the history that they had with each other is that they saw each other twice in the amateurs. You know how much developing has gone down in Tank's career and Roach's career to suggest that they know each other because of that, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know Tank Davis' style from watching him on TV. Everybody know his style. Everybody know what he does. I could damn near tell you punch by punch what Tank Davis is going to do in a fight. So they never shared, the ring as pros when they was already developed. The best fighter won that night. The better fighter won. Corey B, how do you get shadow banned? I got a strike. When they give you a strike, you automatically shadow ban. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I guess the way that they work the algorithm, when they shadow ban you, they only allow a certain amount of people to find you. So you're live. I went for like about a week that it would never be more than 5 people in the live. 4, 5, maybe 6, a whole week. Because they basically make the channel so that nobody could find it. That's why you shadow ban. And then little by little, they allow more people to find it as the time passes. So now that I'm like 2 weeks or 3 into the shadow banning, they're allowing more people to find the live. That's why you see 30-something in here. But I'm still shadow banned. I'm still under a strike. That's why you see that there is no super chat. Because of the strike. 37 Breezy. Scooter Davis, nice. For real, for real. He from DC. Watch out for the youngin tonight. Oh, I'm going to be checking him out. For sure. I'm going to be checking him out. Clifton Eddie. Thanks, mate. Did you hear they tried to get Francis Ngannou to replace Tank? His response was hilarious. I loved it. I loved his response. Man, don't disrespect me like that. Don't play with me like that. You know what it is? That there's people who have a lot of money and they not looking for the biggest bags out. Some fans, especially American fans, you guys, don't understand that everybody's not looking for the biggest bag. Everybody's not looking, I'm going to get the biggest bag and I'm going to have the most money. Everybody don't think like that, especially people from outside of the U.S. When you look at Ngannou, this guy's not looking for shit like that. And he fought Usyk, and he fought this guy, but he tried to fight like legitimate world championship caliber fighters. So Francis Ngannou is trying to go into boxing and say, no, I'm for real. I can box. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to go for the top dogs. He came up short, but still, he's not trying to step in the ring with no Jake Paul. He don't care about the money to fight a guy like that. You don't care for that. I5, what time, bro? I'm in America. Well, here is 9:51 a.m. Eastern time. Corey B. Whoa, thanks for the info. No doubt, my G. Agent 17. Yeah, YouTube didn't even give me notice. This the first 2 stream after the shadow ban. That's what I'm trying to tell you, my people. A lot of the time, most of the time when I go live, you will not get a notification. It's just the way it's going to be for a little while. And by the way, the strike that I got right now, that shit ends like in January. So it's going to be like mid-January when y'all start getting notifications. Or you might be getting them, but when you start getting them regularly. Clifton Eddie, say with me. I ain't been getting notifications. Yeah, most people ain't going to get them. Agent 17. Ngannou wants the money, but it has to be against a reputable opponent, not a content creator. That's a fact. Francis Ngannou is like, yo, yeah, I want to fight, but I want to get a win in boxing that's going to make me legitimate in boxing. Because he knows it. Imagine if he beat Fury, or he beat Wilder, if he beat, even if it's a former world champion, but if he beat him, that's going to make him legit. Like, damn, this guy really did come from MMA and won a title in boxing. Nobody been able to do that. Well, people mentioned Holly Holm. I think she did it backwards. I think she was a boxer and went to MMA, if I'm not mistaken. Agent 17. He should have won the Fury fight. I'm going to say I think Fury slept on him. I think Fury slept on him, thought it was going to be easy work, and got handled. Eye for eye. Oh, I see they tricked me with the narrative because I think Roach won at the night too. Listen, Lamar Roach won that fight. And what tells us that he won is that the New York State Athletic Commission acknowledged that the referee made a mistake where he did not issue an 8 count when Tank Davis took a knee. They're on record as saying this. So in other words, he won, but the ref made a mistake. So now it's a draw. But he won. Because if you make it a 10-8 round, he won the fight on 2 other cards. He's the winner. And then you have to wonder, how does the referee suspend the 8 count when Tank took a knee? He started counting 1, 2, and then he stopped. I think he counted to 2 and stopped. So, obviously a controversial result. We was gonna get a rematch to find out who's really the better fighter, and we never got the rematch because Tank was gonna get the bag. Clifton Eddy, it's a lose-lose for Francis. If he wins, he beats a smaller, less talented Goose. And if he actually lost, it curves for his whole career. And I don't see no chance of him losing, but still it's like there'll be zero credit given to him other than he made money. And he don't care for that. You see, there's fighters out there who have, the type of wealth that is going to be generational, like them and their kids are taken care of. And they don't care for 50 more million and 100 more million and more millions. Nah, there's people that's good. There's people that's not looking for all the millions in the world like fans be thinking. Eye for eye. Jay crazy for that. Boy hit like a Mack truck. Francis do not play. To be honest, it doesn't necessarily mean that he was planning on fighting him for real. It could have been just sending out offers to say, yo, this guy is about it for real. Look what he's trying to do. Because that can happen too. He can send out offers to 5 different fighters, and they already know they're going to fight this one guy. They already know this the guy, but they're going to send it to these other guys to say, look, he's trying to get the smoke. But they really ain't trying to fight none of them dudes. That could be the case too. Clifton Dennis. I'm late to the show. Who wins tonight and how, Jay Smith? Tough question. Putting me on the spot. But I made my prediction and I stand on it. Vergil Ortiz is going to beat Erickson Lubin. Not sure if it goes the distance. Lubin been stopped twice. And his 2 losses have been by stoppage. I know that he's a tough opponent. I know that he can fight. Been on the big stage. He's a big dude. Big guy. But I think Vergil has what it takes to walk out of there with the W. Brascarov. Nobody was taking a dive, bro. Age of 17. Jay should work his way up since he ranked in the cruiserweight division. But we all know he won't do that because if they aren't in the top 10, they're 10 cans to him and his pay-per-view money. No, look, so I gotta tell you, anybody in the top 25 that Jake Paul beats, I'll give him credit for it. Anybody within the top 25. They don't gotta be in the top 10. And I'm saying that because of his record. It's not like he's, 30-0, right? Based on his record, somebody in the top 10, somebody in the top 25. If he fights somebody in his division who's around his age and ranked in the top 25, I'll give him credit for that. Be like, that's a damn good win. Damn good win. fighting washed up fighters, unranked opponents, people who never fought before, or who are not professional boxers. I don't want to hear it no more. I'm done with it. Braskarov, nobody was taking a dive. Oh, I seen that already. Fast Ruck, damn, I can't read that, bro. That's the problem with boxing. The best guys all have too much money, and you can hardly ever get them to fight each other. Not necessarily, because look, right now you see, they get to have that money towards the tail end of their career. But if you look right now, we're having Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney. Those are two of the best. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez look like it's on the way. Those are two of the best. So the problem is the Tank Davis fans and the Tank Davis mentality and the fans and the fighters that's trying to protect that. Oh, that's the problem. Those are the ones that are not giving us the fights. Clifton Eddy. That's why I questioned the Tank versus Jake fight. Everyone knew Tank was way better technically than Jake. See, this is the thing. People knew that Tank was technically better, but if you look at the narrative, it's the size difference. Especially people who don't know boxing, they think that size difference is gonna be what make it happen. They like Jake Paul's so big, Jake Paul's so strong. It just take one. That was the narrative. Think about Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. Crawford is too big. Crawford is too small. Weight classes for a reason. Canelo's gonna knock him out. Canelo's gonna make him look easy. Crawford is only there for a payday. He know he's getting knocked out. All of that. Why? Because of size. You never really heard people talking about, yo, Canelo's nicer than him. Canelo got more speed or Canelo got more skills. It was always, he's big, he's big, he's big. That was the narrative. And now we see the same thing. We saw the same thing, at least, with Jake Paul and Tank Davis. I had people arguing with me that Tank Davis was going to get beat up because this guy was way too big for him. I had people actually making that argument. I don't know if they actually believe it or if they was trolling, but there was a lot of people making that argument. MS, if I were Boots and I see Vergil win tonight, I will fight a Majimov or Bohachuk first to feel some power and pressure and see how I stand before going from cooking lima beans to filet mignon. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because you have to understand, he ended his fight in a brutal fashion. So if Vergil Ortiz does the same, it's the perfect lead up to their fight. They both going to win, in devastating fashion. Now it's time to face each other. That's the way it plays out. Braskarov. Tank would have been untouchable in there. Listen, man. I would have loved to see Tank Davis versus Lamar Roach in that rematch. That's what I would have loved to see. But you know where Tank Davis has been untouchable? Versus all of the top dogs that he refuses to fight. He's untouchable. They can't get to him. Remember that when they were saying, when it was always that narrative, Shakur Twitterson, right? But the real Twitter king is Tank Davis. Bro done beat up Shakur Stevenson, slept Teofimo Lopez, and knocked out Devin Haney, all on Twitter. In real life, ain't sent no contract, ain't try to fight nobody. But on Twitter, ooh, he done beat all of them up brutally. Slept everybody on Twitter. Not one contract sent. Talk to me. Who's the real Twitter assassin? And almost became the face of exhibition boxing. So there's people out there who's trying to accomplish, who's trying to become, the best of the era, the best of the generation, the pound for pound list, all-time greats and all that. And then there's Tank Davis and his fans talking about, we make, I had a fan tell me, we make the most money. I'm like, oh, fuck you mean we make the most money? Who's sending you a check? How you gonna tell me we making the most money? Let me know in the comments if Tank Davis sending you a check. If he's sending you some type of percentage. How you gonna tell me we make the most money? Punch you in the mouth for saying some shit like that. I feel like punching you in the mouth. Be real, my peoples. If somebody, yo, Brascarol, let me ask you a question. Because people say some shit like that in the chat. No real name, no face behind the comment. But Brascarol, if somebody in your face, if you arguing about Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson or Tank Davis, Buck Crawford, and they tell you, we make more money than Bud, you're going to tell me you're not going to want to feel like punching them in the mouth right there on sight? Talk about we making more money? So at the end of the day, you can pocket watch all you want and celebrate money that a fighter ain't even make yet. Because people were celebrating Tank Davis 40 mils. They were celebrating all that paper. How goofy you look. Brascarol, who on sight? I'm telling you, talk about we making more money. And you work a 9 to 5, making $12 an hour. What is you talking about we making more money? Age of 17, no doubt. But I never do it because I know the consequences of assault with a deadly weapon. You might not do it, but you're going to feel like punching them in the mouth. At least the thought is going to cross your mind. Juan Ocasio, Smith had in the live the other day. I be imagining, I be the passenger seat on the Lambo with Tank. Yo, I told you, man, sometimes, you know, you're a Tank Davis fan, and that happens, you know, you picture yourself rolling in the Ferrari with Tank Davis, walking to the bank, counting money with him and all that. But then you gotta wake up and you're a goofball flipping burgers at Wendy's, arguing about millions of dollars. JJ's in the house, Jay Smith. I have to go to work and think about Tank money. The fuck out of here. That's what I'm talking about. We gonna sit here thinking about Tank Davis money. That's wicked stuff. Juan Ocasio, that shit had me crying. Bro, come on now. Come on, we can't be, how we gonna be celebrating? But look, bro, look, we gotta start with the goofballery. Tonight, we're gonna have a great night of boxing, my people. Come on now. Brascarol, wake up. Being a goofball is wild. Yo, I don't know what it is, bro. The thing is, Brascarol, there's some goofballs that they could snap out of it and stop their goofballery. But honestly, man, there's some people that's just dumb. Dumb. So they don't even know that they're a goofball. They think me and you is the goofball for talking facts. If I tell there's people who, when I tell them, what are you talking about? Crawford is a 3-division undisputed champion. Yo, you corny. You corny for that. Huh? For stating the facts? So, bro, there's some goofballs out there that they don't even know that they goofballs. You can't fix somebody like that. Clifton Eddy, Tank Davis, the boy who could have been. So I'm going to say this. Because he's 30 years old, I'm not ready to say that Tank Davis is the boy that could have been. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to give you a hypothetical. It's a hypothetical scenario that I think can play out. Watch this. So, let's say right now, Tank Davis decides to lay low for 2 years. Right? During these 2 years, he's not on cameras. He's not posting on IG. He's not getting in trouble. He deal with the legal matter. You know, whatever it is, settle out of court. And basically just fly under the radar for these 2 years. Get his little therapy for the mental health situation. Um, make some donations to women's causes to show, look, I'm sorry. And in 2 years, he could go into a real good training camp and get a tune-up fight at 32 years old, right? And if you get a tune-up fight at 32, it's successful, wins with a spectacular knockout, and then start fighting the guys, Tank Davis can still have, a heck of a run. And I said it before, if Tank Davis chose to fight everybody, if he was to do that, he'll retire with a record like 40-1, 39-2, 41-3. Like, he'll retire with a great record. But he'll take a couple of losses along the way. If he don't want to do that, he might just stay retired. But he can still come back and have some big wins. Side, the most dangerous type of goofy is the one that don't know they goofy. That's a fact. Those are the ones that give you the most consistent goofballery. JJ Sendejas, Smith with the Muppets voice again. Golden. But I don't know which one is the Muppets voice. You're going to have to let me know when. I don't know which one it is. Braskarov. It will have to be divine intervention, bro. Sometimes people tend to climb back up when they hit a rock bottom. And this could be a rock bottom for Tank, where, he was about to get the biggest bag of his career and fumbled it. So maybe this is something that turns on a light to say, if I don't change, I might end up in jail and I'm going to lose everything. Clifton Eddy never really tested himself. Always tries to stack the deck in his favor before signing to fight. So the stacking the deck in his favor, that's not him, that's his team. That's what a team does. You see, we're going to put more focus on Tank because who he is. But I promise you, Clifton Eddy, anytime you have an A-side fighter and a B-side fighter with somebody who's famous, they're always going to put stuff in the contract in their favor. Like, that's always going to be the case one way or another. It's rare when you don't see it. Example, Terence Crawford. There was nothing in the contract in his favor to fight Canelo. No rehydration clause, no nothing. Just go fight straight up and win. But Terence Crawford was the B-side in that fight. That's why. But A-side fighters are always putting stuff in the contract in their favor. Tank Davis is no different. Corey B. I like Tank better when he was with Floyd. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. The way his career has played out, I think by now he should have faced some of the names that he hasn't. And, I'm definitely disappointed about him doing an exhibition when he was going to do it. But like I said, man, I think Tank could take a break and come back and kill it going forward. I think he's only 30 years old, so he got time. Clarence McLean, No Doug Zone Podcast. Salute, my brother. Bam, appreciate you dropping in. Side, the Muppets voice, where you say, you would do the same thing too. You would all do the same thing. Get the fuck out of here, goofballs. Clarence McLean, smash that like button. Appreciate it, my G. An hour and a half out here cooking. Emerald Lagasse ain't got nothing on me. I've been cooking like that. And I got like 20-something likes. Side, Tank always got a stipulation. Salute to Crawford for moving up. No rehydration. Clifton Eddy. Thanks, mate. You're welcome, my brother. Listen, my peoples. I'm super looking forward to tonight's action. And I want to remind you guys, subscribe. Where's my other phone? Damn. Subscribe to Box Center 2.0, my peoples. As soon as I get to 50 subscribers, we're going to kick off the live show. I haven't told you what's going to be the name of the show yet. But remember, there's going to be a hotline where people going to be able to call in. Oh, my God, I can't wait till somebody call the show talking about, listen, Tank was going to get the money. And I would have did the same thing too. Oh, they're gonna get cooked. They're gonna get cooked to death. They the ones that's really gonna get it on some medieval type shit. So check it, my peoples. Look, that right there is Box Center 2.0. Right now we got 26 subscribers. 50. That's all we need. 50 subscribers and we're going live. I'm telling you, the day it reaches 50, the following day you're gonna see me live with the brand new show. I'll announce the name of the show and I'll give you more details. But when that hotline open, all you gotta do is download WhatsApp and start calling in. Trash talking is allowed 100%. As long as it's about boxing. We fans of boxing, we know what that trash talking is about. This guy's a bum, this a tomato can, he gonna get beat up. You don't know shit about boxing. We know boxing trash talking. It's allowed. So let's get to 50 subscribers on Box Center 2.0 because, bro, it's going to be crazy over there. Boxing Junkie. What happened to this page? Braska Rogue, subscribe. Salute, my brother. I appreciate it. Boxing Junkie. Nothing happened to this page, my G. This page is this page. But Box Center 2.0 is going to have a brand new show with a hotline for fans to call in. It's going to be trash talking. It's going to be opinions. It's going to be wannabe experts and real experts that'll call in and say what they got to say. So subscribe to Box Center 2.0, my people. That's all I'm saying. And Box Center members on this channel, if you're a member, you already know you're going to get exclusive videos that are only for the members. You're also going to get exclusive live. So salute to the members who's already on. You've seen a couple of videos are already up. My peoples, when that hotline goes live, it's going to be crazy. Boxing Junkie, what's going to happen to this page I'm at? Nothing's going to be the same, my brother. This is Box Center. That's Box Center 2.0. So Boxing for Breakfast is going to be the same. And nothing on this channel changes, my guy. It's going to be this channel. Everything that you see on this channel is going to stay as is. But Box Center 2.0 is going to have exclusive. Here's the difference. Let me put you on. The content that you see on this channel, right? If you look for the videos, if you look for the long videos that you see on this channel, you can find those videos, a lot of them, on Facebook, on my Box Center Facebook account, on the J Smith account. You can find them on Instagram. So the videos that you see here, you see them in a lot of different places. The videos that you see in Box Center 2.0 are only on that channel. They never get posted anywhere. Unless somebody, somebody screenshot a video and reposted it, that's different, right? I can't stop you, and I don't have a problem because you promoted me. But those videos, I'm only posting them on there. So to give you an example, right now, if you go to Box Center 2.0, you're going to see that there's 11 videos up in Box Center 2.0. Let me see if I can show you. Here we go. You see? Those videos are only on that channel. You'll never find anything, any of those videos, you can't find them on any other platform. So Box Center 2.0, that's the difference. It's only for exclusive content that only appears on that platform. Corey B, you got to let the trolls talk on 2.0. They're going to. I can't stop you. You're going to have a minute to go off. We're going to argue, and we might curse each other out. It might get spicy. It will get spicy. But the point is, the only way that trolls get cut out is if they saying something too crazy. Or if they bring it, there's going to, if you're going to bring up politics, if you're going to bring up stuff related to what's going on in the world and your own personal views, if you're going to, dig in on religion, you're going to get booted out, But as far as trash talking and trolling, do you, but just go into it with the understanding that it's with me you're going to be talking to, and I'm going to be firing back. You pull out your hardware, you're gonna see my artillery in full force. Eye for eye. Ortiz about to get touched up. I mean, listen, Erickson Lubin is a guy that got the type of skill set to touch him up. So I expect that. I expect a tough fight. But I got Vergil Ortiz winning it, whether it's by stoppage or by decision. And somebody yesterday told me that Luben was going to knock him out. And I just said, remember, man, think about Mexican fighters and how commonly do they actually get knocked out when they're young and strong like that. Bro, think about it. So the odds of Vergil Ortiz getting knocked out are very, very slim. It can happen because anything can happen in boxing, right? But I don't see him getting knocked out. Luben would have to beat him on the cards. So I ask you, what do you think Erickson Lubin has to do to win this fight on the cards versus Vergil Ortiz in Texas, in Dallas? What percentage of the crowd you think is going to be Hispanic and Mexican? So come give me a hug. Come on. What do you think? Give me a hug. Give me a hug. I love you. You want orange?
Orange juice.
You want orange juice? We have to go to the store.
Okay, I want to go to the store.
Okay. Wait for me in the couch. I'm going to go over there right now. Let me finish the show.
I want something.
Okay, we're going to go to the store.
I want meat, Daddy.
Okay. I love you. Restaurant, take care. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. Bam, eye for eye. I don't know the knockout. Ortiz tough. I be trying to tell people, bro. It's not just that Ortiz is tough. Look at the historical data so you can see. Strong Mexican fighters like that, it'd be almost impossible to knock them out. You gotta kill them. You gotta kill them. To knock them out, you ain't knocking them out, bro. The odds are severely against it. You gotta beat them. You gotta outbox them. You gotta take it the distance and beat them on the cards. You ain't gonna knock them out. In most cases, it's just not gonna happen. And I don't think Vergil's gonna be the exception. My peoples, I wanna give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. My son wanna spend some quality time with me. I've been rocking with y'all for an hour and a half, man, and I didn't even get 30 likes. Yo, y'all did me in like the Peruvians. But it's still all love. Everybody who hit the like button, everybody who didn't hit the like button, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all still tuning in. Y'all still enjoying the show. Y'all still chiming in. Yo, Box Center 2.0. Subscribe, my people. I'm trying to get this live started for you guys. It's going to be different. It's going to be a different ball game. So I need you to understand. Before I block that dummy, I need you to understand that Box Center 2.0 is going to be the real deal Holyfield. Come on now. It's going to be the real deal Holyfield. So I couldn't interrupt myself for saying, you see how we block dummies? Just like that. In an hour and a half, we only blocked 2 dummies. My bad. I don't know if I was too soft today or something like that, my peoples. But again, salute to everybody who tuned in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Real talk. Real talk, my peoples. I appreciate you tuning in. Remember that tonight we are going to be live. We are going to be talking boxing. I am going to be calling a fight for you guys. And, of course, subscribe to Box Center 2.0. That hotline is going to be open as soon as we hit 50 subscribers, my peoples. Let's get it. Let's get to 50 ASAP. I'm trying to get that show started for y'all. Eye for eye. Salute, Jay. Push that like button. MS. Jay Smith, you the man. Appreciate you, man. Yo, Mark Cardona, at least hit the like button, man. You're gonna jump in, not say anything that mean anything, and not even hit the like button. God damn, bro. Come on now. R30, respect my G. You already know what it is, my people. Mark Cardona, el boxeo está muerto. UFC lo mató. Mark Cardona got the bars. Boom. Get your dumb ass out of here. There you have it, my peoples. 3 goofballs. Right before I was about to end the show, caught another goofball. Let me see if I could stay a few more seconds if any goofballs show up so we could hit full. Is there any other goofball that want to visit the block party? Let me know. R30, any good fights on the undercard? There's some good fights, my brother. Off the top of my head right now, it's hard for me to come up with it. I got my son trying to get at me, but it's some good fights. Good fights. Tune in. Remember, your boy Jay Smith is going to be live. I'm going to be calling it for you guys. It's going to be lit. My peoples. One love to everybody. R30, MS, Eye for Eye. Braskarog was in the building. Side, Corey B. Golden Gate Highway was also in the building. Clifton Addy. JJ Zendejas. Juan Ocasio. My peoples, everybody who tune in, y'all already know what it is, man. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to see you tonight. Let's get it, man. Don't forget to subscribe to Boxer 2.0. And remember, get your membership, man. Get your membership on this channel so you could get that exclusive content from Jay Smith. I'm out of here, my people. Bam. Peace.